as a quarterback, is it the best possible scenario? You're sitting there, only 2 guys for spring practice. They're going to get plenty of reps and things to show this spring, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to have to find a way to not throw their arms completely off. And on one hand, that's not good. You're like, wow, I only got 2 quarterbacks. Now we have some other guys who will be able to throw some, but the other time, yeah, they're going to get more reps. If I'm them, I'm excited because I'm not rotating with 3 or 4 guys. I'm going to get all these reps for 15 days, which will, be very invaluable for them. I mean, it's a great opportunity for them and for us to get more evaluation time and see what they're good at and what they're not.
How big is it for one of these guys or both of them to take some steps forward in the spring because you do have 3 more guys coming in the fall, and then those rotations go down tremendously?
It's big for them personally. Like I said, they've got that advantage. They get the spring to themselves to go out and compete. I was in one of those when I was playing. There was only 2 of us. Matt Jones was out for the spring, so there was only 2 quarterbacks that went through spring. I got so many more reps in that spring than I ever got, and I got better. And so it's great for them. It's great for us to get more information. And, hey, like I've told you, the only guys we know for sure that we're going to be going to play with next year are the guys that are here now. And so I hope both those guys raise their level immensely. And I hope it's a tough decision at the end of spring on those 2 because they're both doing so good that we're like, well, we can win with both of them. And that competition will continue on.
Rhett, I'm sure you've talked about this, but give us your thoughts on the 2 guys that are here this spring. Kyle, you've known him for a while, and Jonathan as well.
Yeah. Know them well, know their past, know their families well, and like I said, was involved in the recruitment of Kyle when we were here the first time, and then was involved with Jonathan enough when he was coming to camps, and then we even recruited him at Arkansas State. So know them well. They fit what we do. They've run similar style offenses to what we do in high school. So they have familiarity with the style of play we do. And, Kyle especially got a year in the system here before Coach left. And so I think they fit us well. So I'm excited about them from that regard.
Strengths for either one?
I wouldn't want to – I have my ideas just from when we recruited them in high school, what I thought of them then, and seen them a little bit in college. But I'd really want to wait and reserve that for, hey, let's get on the field because I told them a minute ago, it's hard for them to really truly know me till we get out on the field and me to really truly know them until we've been to some practices, some scrimmages, some things like that. I see how they react, how they do certain things, what they're good at, what they're not, and then I'll know better then.
3 quarterbacks, you got to give your thoughts on the signing class at that position.
I feel really good about it. I feel like we've got 3 guys that win. Great athletes. When I talk about having a guy that's an athlete, that guy that nowadays you look in the NFL even and in college, that guy's a dynamic playmaker. They got to be able to throw the football and make plays throwing it, but not only does the defense have to account for them in the run, but when things break down, they can keep plays alive, extend plays, even make something out of nothing. All 3 of those guys possess that. I'm excited about each and every one of them. They each have different things I think they're really good at. Really excited about Nick, Jeremy, and Jason, all 3.
Could you talk a little bit about Nick, about what you like about him personally?
Well, he's older, he's more mature. He's had a year out in Kansas. I think that's helped him just mature as a young man. Anytime a guy's 2 years older than the other 2 guys coming in, he's got more life experience. He's played in this league. I know he played safety at Georgia, but he's played in this league, so he understands the league. Coming out of high school, they're still talking about him in Georgia. What kind of basketball player he was, the kind of football player he was. You're just talking about an incredible athlete, football player. And then, he went back to quarterback this year at his junior college, offensive player of the year or whatever. And you put the ball in a guy's hands that talented. If you can get him making the right decisions, that's good. And he can throw the ball well. So I'm excited about that with him.
That's one thing I guess people. Sorry, Brian. The one thing that people look at and are concerned with is the number of picks that he threw.
Yeah, and that's a concern for anybody. But I think at the end of the day, that's part of my job is to try to help teach him how to make better decisions and play fast and do the right things. I look at Ryan Applin last year. He was the player of the year when we got there as a junior in the league. But he threw, I think, 19 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. We come in, and hey, he's still a great player. And really, a lot of this credit goes to him. Because he bought in, he did everything. It was important to him. But you look a year later, he's still the player of the year with 24 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I think that's night and day, and that shows his development and growth. And in just 1 year to make that jump and into a new system, which is the same thing Nick or any of these other guys will have to do. So at the end of the day, that's going to be a big factor on who plays and who protects the football. So I think that'll be motivation enough for him to make the right decisions.
With that job up for grabs, starting job up for grabs, and as crowded as that position could be come fall, maybe not in the spring, but come fall, how critical do you expect fall camp to be in terms of determining who's going to be lining up in the center for you?
You know, at this point right now today, I think it'll be very critical because you got new guys coming in that are getting their first impression right away. And, you know, the difference probably in them and the two guys that are here are going to get spring and some of that time. Those guys are going to come in and within a couple of weeks, you're going to have to kind of make a call. Are they ready to proceed this way or this way at that point? Sometimes that, you know, that just speeds up the urgency. But I think fall camp will be huge. I think the summer will be huge for those guys as well.
What do you like about Jeremy Johnson on film?
Well, Jeremy, same thing. I mean, gosh, he's the best basketball player in the state. He's the best football player in the state. He's a winner. He's won championships. I think, you know, he's a big guy that can really throw the football. I mean, he's just got natural arm talent. The ball comes out of his hand well. He can make all the throws. But yet he's I don't know, he's a much better athlete than maybe people know. I mean, just going and watching him last spring when I was recruiting for another place, I mean, I remember watching him in spring practice and just thinking, wow, I mean, he's even more athletic than I knew at that time, and I knew him well, what he can do on the basketball court. So I think, once again, you got a guy who's won. He can make all the throws we need him to make. He's going to be just like Nick or anyone else. He's got to make good decisions with the football. And I think for any young quarterback, that's probably the first thing they got to get really good at is grasping the offense and then playing fast and making good decisions and protecting the football. And then at the same time, he can tuck it down and run. He can run all our stuff. He can make plays. He's a big guy. You know, he's not probably quite as big as Cam, but he's close to his height. And so, you know, big guys are hard to tackle. Especially when they play quarterback, guys aren't, you know, defensive players aren't used to tackling those big, long guys. So that'll be an advantage for him.
How important was it to have a guy like him as recruiting class who stuck with you guys, threw it out, he helped recruit other guys, and he was a high profile?
Huge. He was a rock for the class. You know, we had the relationship with him, which helped, but he stuck with Auburn. And so I think Auburn fans need to be really excited about that. I mean, him and Jason both stuck with Auburn as well as some other guys and helped hold the class together, not only hold it together, but then make it what we feel like turned out to be a great class.
Talk a little bit about Jason Smith and his ability as a quarterback.
Yeah, you know, Jason, he might be pound for pound the best athlete in the whole state. And there's some really good ones. And, you know, once again, they're still playing basketball. I mean, he's a great talent in everything he does, but there's no doubt the reason he played quarterback is you want to put the ball in a guy's hands every snap like that. Can throw the ball very, very well. Ran a similar style offense to us. He knows this is the kind of offense he can fit in. Extremely fast and quick. I mean, he'll be really tough in space to get a hand on, just to be honest with you. I mean, whereas a Cam was a powerful guy. You know, Jeremy's got some elusiveness, but he's more just fast and big. Jason's a quick guy, man. I mean, he's got him and Nick. They got a little more shape to them probably, and so I think he's got a lot of upside there.
Kind of changing gears a little bit. There was a lot of